Listen, I gotta get some reading done. You mind if I do this here? I can't concentrate on my part.
Risk management?
Yeah. Steinbrenner wants everyone in the front office to get a lecture in their area of business expertise.
Well, what makes them think you're a risk management expert?
I guess it's on my resume.
With your busy schedule, you'd have time to take on a protege.
I'll make time. Because, Abby, I was once like you. Wide-eyed, naive. I didn't know the first thing about a subject as fundamental as risk management.
I'm not familiar with that. You'll have to explain it to me.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you read this book, and let's just see if you can explain it to me. Okay.
Good evening. I'm Dr. J. We're going to talk today about risk management and risk mitigation strategies. So let's define a risk. A risk is an uncertainty that can have either a positive or negative effect on a project. A negative effect is we miss some key functions, so the time or cost increases or the quality suffers on a project. A positive impact, we're able to include deliverables that will benefit a sponsor. Some PMs view risks as negative and positive risks as business opportunity. We're going to review how to develop a risk management plan, how to develop a probability and impact matrix, how to develop a risk register, and we're going to discuss some risk mitigation strategies today. All projects involve risks. There are known risks and unknown risks. The known risks have been identified and analyzed and can be managed proactively. The unknown risks have not been identified or analyzed and can't be managed. On a project, you will routinely have both known and unknown risks to deal with. Each project manager has a risk preference. Risk-averse project managers typically overestimate the time and cost of a project to be very safe. Risk-neutral project managers will overestimate the time and cost on a project depending on the complexity of the project or it's situational. And risk-seeking project managers typically underestimate the cost and schedule of a project. These three views of your risk preference can be shaped by how you look at life, past experience on projects, and the organizational culture you reside in. The organizational culture that you reside in can be risk adverse, like a bank, or risk seeking, like a research and development lab. A risk management plan documents the procedures for managing risk throughout the life of a project. The general topics that a risk management plan should address include the methodology for risk management, roles and responsibilities, budget and schedule estimates for risk-related activities, risk categories, probability and impact matrix, and risk documentation. All projects, irregardless of the size, need a risk management plan. This is an example of a risk management plan. It starts off with the methodology, the roles and responsibilities, budget and the schedule, and the risk categories. Remember, there's business risks, technical risks, organizational risks, and project management risks. Each of these should be identified and addressed. The risk and probability impact will gauge our project as a high risk, medium risk, or low risk based on advice. And then the risk documentation will be summarized in a risk register. This is a sample probability impacts matrix. Remember, risk events refer to specific uncertain events that may occur to the detriment or enhancement of the project. Risk events can be either negative or positive. Negative risk events could be failure of the product, could be delays in completing the work as scheduled, increases in the estimated cost, shortages in supply, or litigation against the company. Positive risk events could be completing the work sooner than planned, completing it at a reduced cost, having the suppliers provide better products for you, or obtaining good publicity on the project. You can chart the probability and impact of risk events on a matrix. The probability can be either low, medium, or high, and the impact can be low, medium, or high. This chart clearly identifies which risks you should pay attention to. A risk register is a tool for documenting potential risk events and related information. Please take a second to look at the sample risk register. I want to point out certain key areas. Rank of the risk. It can be high, medium, or low. The category under which the risk falls. It could be organizational. It could be delay in approval. It could be delay in staffing. It could be unclear proposals, unclear work statement. And the other area is the potential responses to each risk event. We can avoid the risk. We can accept the risk. We can transfer the risk and mitigate the risk. It is very important that you put the risk owner or the person who will take managerial authority for the risk. Other critical areas, the impact to the project if this risk occurs. The risk could be minor impact or it can be a major